Did you know that lonely people tend to unsubscribe from life's membership way more often? Now, that might sound scary if you're a bit of a loner. But what if I told you solitude could actually be a cheat code to those who know how to use it? Because loneliness is simply solitude without the feeling of love. But the love you want from other people is actually the result of how you used your solitude in the first place. Let me explain. And trust me, if you listen until the end, your mind is going to be blown. First of all, let me tell you a story. I was a few weeks ago at my sister's house, my big sister, and she has her own apartment. We were just the two of us talking, doing stuff, nothing crazy. And then she tells me a friend of hers wants to come by. Like he just calls her and he asks her to come by and she says yes. I'm a bit, ticked off by it already, but I'm like, man, you know what? All right, I'll meet him. I've already met a few of her friends, so all right. But then he calls again, like 5-10 minutes later, and he tells her he wants to bring a colleague of his from work to meet her, like to see her and stuff like that, and they have something to drink or something. And she says no. Because, if you're a normal person, it should sound normal to say no. Like you're with your little brother and your friend that your little brother doesn't know wants to bring another stranger that you don't even know in front of your brother. I don't know about you. Sounds pretty normal to say no. Like if my friend, my best friend, or like any of my friends tells me, sorry, I'm with family right now, I can't see you, or like don't bring this other person or whatever, I say, okay. And I just go on my way. I do my thing. But this guy, he keeps asking. He's like, yeah, but come on. Like, it's nothing crazy. Like, I know him. He's a good guy. Don't worry. And she says no again. And he keeps going into but he starts saying like, yeah, but like, you're being weird right now. Like, why don't you want him to come? Like, he's a good guy. Trust me. Like, your brother, he's going to like him. And she's like, no, I'm with my brother. If it had been another situation, maybe. But right now I'm with my brother. It's my family. And he keeps going. At that point, I'm looking at the phone and I'm looking at my sister and I don't want to say anything because, it's not my place. But I'm looking at her like, bitch, you better hang up. You better hang up right now. Like, it's crazy what he's doing. Bitch, if you say yes, I'm going to be pissed because I already didn't want to meet the friend. And she ends up saying no the last time and then boom, they hang up. If one of my friends did that to me, we're not friends anymore. Or at least I'm hanging up at the second no. And at that point, I just told my sister, I don't want to meet your friend. Like, he doesn't seem like a good guy. I'm going to be real with you. Because the guy was straight up gaslighting her, like making it feel like she was in the wrong for saying no. And that's my first point about the ability to be alone. Because when you are okay being alone, you're better at building boundaries. If you want good friendships, solid friendships, you need boundaries. And you need to not be afraid of making them known and making them solid. If one of my friends had called me and told me, yeah, can I pass by and I'm with my sister, I would just tell him, nah, sorry, man, I'm with my sister right now. And if he tried to say, yeah, but let me come anyway, blah, 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 I would just tell him, no, dude, I'm going to see you tomorrow. I'm going to see you this weekend. Like, I'm with my sister right now. And that's it. And if he keeps going, I'm like, hey, stop right now, man. It started to piss me off. Like, if you keep going, I'm going to hang up, sorry. That's about it. But the crazy thing? I've never had to do that with any of my friends. That's why, like, if you're okay with solitude, you're going to meet people who respect your boundaries. Because you're going to meet, the only people you're going to hang out with are people you feel are the same as you. They have their own life. They're not going to try and gaslight you into spending time with them. And being alone and being okay being in your solitude allows you to have stronger boundaries because you're not dependent on other people's approval. And that goes to the second point, which is neediness. Neediness leads to bad friendships. Let's give an example with romantic relationships. Imagine you're the funniest guy. The kind of the group clown, but not to that point. Not to the point where you're like actually the clown. You're just really funny. You're social. You take initiative, you're kind of leading stuff and all that stuff. But then you get really interested in a girl, sorry. And when you're really interested in a girl, you don't act the same because you start overthinking. You start thinking like, how is she going to like me? How can I look cool to her? How can I look attractive to her? And because you start overthinking, then you're not funny anymore. You start, being super serious, or you start being not as funny because you think about the stuff you're saying too much. It's not that intuitive kind of, banter you have anymore. That's what neediness does. When you need someone's approval, when you feel like you need someone to see you a certain way, you can't be yourself anymore. You can't act the way you really are attractive to other people. And again, the ability to be alone, the ability to like yourself when you're on your own, allows you to not need others as much. Because when you enjoy your own company, you don't feel like you need other people's company anymore. You want it. You get the difference? It's like it adds something when you go with your friends, but you don't need it to the point where you would bow down to anything they tell you or change your whole personality just to have friends around you. I don't have a lot of friends, like real friends. I have like 2 friends that I really spend time with on a regular basis. That's about it. The rest of the people I see are my family, and sometimes some other friends that I see in groups. And that might seem sad, like, oh, but you don't have a very vibrant social life. But at least I don't have to pretend with anyone. Sure, you put a little bit of a mask, you're not exactly the same person. You can't really be, because the person inside your head isn't the same as the person you portray outside completely. But at least when you have a laugh with your friends, it's not forced. When you know the friends around you are people you can talk to. And that goes to my third point. Fun and good vibes before deep conversations. Prioritize fun and good vibes. You might have been told by the whole self-improvement, niche and all that stuff. Yeah, find people who have the same interests as you so that you can talk about working out, you can talk about business, blah, 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 blah. Cool. Yeah, it's cool to have people you can talk about this stuff with. But truth be told, it's way more fun to just talk about random shit. Talk about girls, talk about, dumb jokes, racist jokes and, dumb jokes, basically. Dad jokes, all that kind of stuff. No, the dumbest shit. I swear to you, when I go see my friends, I don't go see them to have deep conversations. I go see them to have a laugh. And yes, sometimes deep conversations come out of it. Because suddenly, you're talking about a certain subject, you're laughing about it, and suddenly you or one of your friends says something and it ends up into a deep conversation. It happens. But the reason you spend time with people in the first place is because you feel good around them. And the way you feel good around them is by having fun with them. When I think about my best friend, I don't think about the political landscape and economical situation of the world. No, I think about him laughing. And then sometimes we talk about other more serious shit, like how stuff could make the country better, this kind of stuff. We do that sometimes, but it's not my first idea. And once again, the only way you can see it that way, the only way you can just think about fun and good vibes when you're with your friends is if you're fine being alone. Because if you're fine being alone, then you already have the important conversations in your head. The deep stuff, you're already thinking about it all the time. You don't need to talk about it with anyone all the time. If it happens, it happens. But otherwise, you just see your friend to have a plus, to add something to your life. That was my little rant on friendship and on how solitude and how being a bit of a loner can help you have better friends and help you be happier overall. It just depends on perspective. If you think you're a loner because it's a choice, then good. Because then you're able to choose the friends that make you okay being a loner. Like you see them, you don't need to see them every day. You see them like once a week, and then you're fine. Like you have a good time with them and you're happy with them, and then you go back to your life. So don't forget, work on the inside and the outside will follow. And take care, man. Johnny.